Last night you treated yourself, and today you feel like your body filed a formal complaint. In this video, I'm going to explain the carb hangover. In other words, what happens when you have a planned indulgence while eating keto, why it can feel shockingly intense, and how to recover fast without spiraling into the, well, I already blew it trap. I'll also give you a simple framework for enjoying birthdays, holidays, and celebrations without turning one cookie into a 3-week situationship. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Dr. Tony Hampton, board certified in family and obesity medicine with a master's in nutrition and functional medicine. And I'm obsessed with root causes, not just symptoms. Before we jump in, comment below. What's your most common indulgence food? Bread, chips, dessert, holiday mac and cheese that tastes like grandma's love language. And stick around, because near the end I'll share the 2-day keto reset I give patients after an indulgence, plus the one mistake that turns a minor detour into a full-on carb comeback tour. Now let's define the carb hangover. A carb hangover is that post-indulgence crash, fatigue, brain fog, ravenous hunger, bloating, cravings, mood swings, poor sleep, and sometimes even joint aches or headache, happening after eating a lot more carbs and often sugar plus ultra-processed foods than your body's been used to on keto. And the reason it hits so hard is simple. When you've been keto for a while, your body is like a person who finally left a toxic relationship and then randomly bumps into that ex at Target. Your metabolism says, oh no, not you again. Here's your word for the day. Somnolence means a strong tendency to feel sleepy or drowsy, and is one of the most common symptoms people describe after a big carb-heavy meal. Doc, I ate the stuffing and I needed a nap so aggressively I almost laid down on the sidewalk. Somnolence, if you experience it, don't take it personal. It's your physiology. So let's break down the mechanism, because understanding the why is how you stop feeling guilty and start feeling in control. So, what actually happens when you go from keto to carbs? Number 1, insulin whiplash, also known as the glucose cleanup crew. On keto, your insulin levels are typically lower and more stable. That's part of why hunger calms down and energy feels more even. When you suddenly eat a high-carb meal, especially refined carbs and sugar, blood glucose rises quickly and insulin rises to handle it. Think of insulin like a cleanup crew that moves glucose out of the bloodstream and into storage, muscle, liver, and fat cells. If you've been keto for a while, your body is efficient at burning fat and ketones. When carbs show up, your metabolism switches fuels. For some people, that switch feels smooth. For others, it feels like slamming on the brakes. And if insulin overshoots a bit, especially after sugary foods, you can get a reactive low a few hours later, shaky, hungry, anxious, craving more carbs. That's the moment people say, I don't even want dessert. I need dessert. Number 2, glycogen refill plus water shift. Also why the scale jumps overnight. This one is a crowd favorite. When you eat carbs again, your body refills glycogen, stored carbohydrate in the liver and muscles. Here's the key. Glycogen holds water. So when glycogen gets replenished, you retain water along with it. That's why people can see the scale jump 2 to 8 pounds after an indulgence weekend. That's not fat gain. That's water plus glycogen plus inflammation plus food volume. In medical terms, your body didn't gain fat overnight. It rehydrated your carb storage system and probably added some sodium-related water retention too. So if you wake up and your scale looks disrespectful, don't panic. The scale is reporting your weather, not your worth. Number 3. The gut microbiome party. In other words, new guests just walked in. If you've been keto, you've probably shifted your gut ecosystem. Many people notice less bloating and less gas on keto because they've reduced fermentable carbohydrates. Then you have a carb-heavy meal, especially breads, sweets, sugar alcohols, or processed foods. And the gut bugs that love that fuel say, is that gluten? Is that sugar? We are so back. Result? Bloating, gas, cramps, reflux, stool changes. This is especially true if the indulgence includes foods you haven't eaten in months. Your gut may be less prepared for them, and your immune system may respond more noticeably. Number 4, Inflammation signals why you feel achy and puffy. A lot of indulgence foods aren't just carbs. They're ultra-processed carbs, seed oils, additives, emulsifiers, and high-sugar combos. That combo can increase inflammatory signaling in susceptible people, which can show up as a puffy face or hands, joint aches, headaches, skin flare-ups, or why do my rings feel tight and my patience feels thin? It's not that carbs are morally bad. It's that your body may be reacting to the type of carbs and the context after metabolic adaptation. Number 5, sleep disruption. In other words, why you're tired but wired. Some people sleep like a baby after carbs. Others sleep terribly. Big meals late, sugar swings, alcohol, reflux, and histamine-rich holiday foods can all disrupt sleep. And here's the cruel cycle. Poor sleep increases hunger hormones and cravings the next day. So you wake up with somnolence and cravings, and suddenly breakfast looks like a hostage negotiation. Number 6, appetite hormones and cravings. In other words, the more switch turns on. Keto often quiets appetite because of stable glucose and ketones. Processed carbs can reactivate that more circuitry, dopamine reward pathways that push you to keep eating. This is why people say, I wasn't even hungry, but I couldn't stop. That's not weakness. That's biochemistry meeting food engineering. Now let's address the title word, cheat. I get why people use it. It's clickable. But medically and psychologically, it can backfire. Because if you cheated, then the next thought becomes, well, I already failed. Might as well keep going. That's not a physiology problem. That's a story problem. I prefer this framing. You didn't cheat. You planned an indulgence. Or you had an unplanned indulgence. Either way, your job is the same. Return to baseline quickly and calmly. No punishment, no shame, no spiral. Here's the practical part. This is what I want you to do after an indulgence. The 2-day keto reset plan. Step 1, hydrate, but don't flood the night. Carbs shift water and electrolytes. Hydration helps, but do it intelligently. Aim for steady hydration through the day. Add electrolytes if you tolerate them, especially soda. And don't chug water late at night unless you enjoy 2 a.m. bathroom trips. Step 2, protein first, then fat, then everything else. At your next meal. Don't start over tomorrow. Start at the next bite. Eat a high-protein keto meal first. Add fat for satiety. Keep carbs low. Examples: eggs plus bacon plus avocado. A ground beef bowl with salt plus a little cheese if tolerated. Salmon plus butter plus asparagus if you do low-carb veg. Protein acts like a grown-up in the room. It stabilizes appetite and calms down your desire for snacking. Step 3. Go for a 10 to 20 minute walk after meals. This is one of the most underrated tools. Post-meal walking helps shuttle glucose into muscle and reduce the spike. It's like giving your body a second exit ramp for carbs. You don't need CrossFit. You need shoes and the motivation to do it. Step 4. 1 day of clean keto, not starvation keto. Keep it simple for 24 hours. Whole foods. Avoid keto junk, even if it's low carb. Avoid alcohol. Focus on meat, eggs, fish, non-starchy veg if you include it, and basic fats. The goal is not punishment. The goal is to lower inflammation and stabilize appetite. Step 5. This is optional, but a short fast if it works for you. If you already fast with comfort, a 12 to 16 hour overnight fast can help you slide back into ketosis. But if fasting makes you feel obsessive, shaky, or binge prone, skip it. You don't heal metabolism by stressing the system. Number 6, salt and sleep. The secret recovery combo. Many people feel better when they salt their food adequately, especially after carbs and water shifts. Prioritize sleep that night because sleep is not a luxury. It's hormonal therapy you don't have to pick up at the pharmacy. Now, the one mistake that turns an indulgence into a relapse. Here it is, trying to make up with punishment. Punishment strategies include starving all day, over-exercising, self-talk that sounds like a drill sergeant with low emotional intelligence. That stress increases cravings, worsens sleep, and often leads to more overeating. Instead, think like a clinician. Your body had an exposure, you had symptoms, now you implement a protocol. Done. No guilt required. So how do you plan an indulgence without paying a big price? If you want indulgence without a carb hangover, use the 3P rule. Number 1, plan it. Choose the event and the food you actually care about, not random break room donuts that taste like sadness. Number 2, protein buffer. Eat a protein-forward meal earlier so you don't arrive starving. Number 3, portion with purpose. Have a real serving, enjoy it, and stop. This is a celebration, not a self-sabotage ritual. And if you go overboard, fine. You're human. Return to baseline like a professional. So if you're on keto and you had an indulgence, the question isn't, did I ruin everything? The question is, what did my body teach me? Because that carb hangover, it's feedback. It's your metabolism saying, I prefer stability. And the more you learn the pattern, insulin swing, water retention, gut reaction, inflammation, somnolence, the less power the spiral has. So as we wrap up, if you want more videos that help you master cravings, stabilize your hormones, and build metabolic health without misery, check the playlist and the description because there's resources waiting for you there. And before you go, like and subscribe if this helped, and drop your comment. What food gives you the worst carb hangover? Thank you for coming to my video, and I'll see you in the next one.